Dear Oscar Wilde, when I first visited your grave, that square angel's wings in Père Lachaise, Paris, it was covered with the imprints of pouting lips. By the time of my second visit, the kisses had disappeared, and the grave was surrounded by plexiglass with a sign requesting that visitors be kind enough not to deface it, as the cleaning costs go at the expense of your descendants. When I went to your grave for the third time, covered with lip imprints was the plexiglass. And I knew you were there with me. I write to you as the little swallow to the happy prince, as the boy to a selfish giant, as the student to the proud girl yearning for a rose in winter, or as a fire to a pretentious rocket. The first time I met you was in fairy tales.
I've brought bust of your fairy tales on the book database. A fantastic prose stylist, if you can tolerate this style. Their heroes are usually destined for destruction. Don't talk to me today, I am totally undone. I cried reading it as a child and I still cry. Disappointing. I don't really like reading sad fairy tales.
Part 2. Our older guys. I too wanted to become an artist. I was 18 when I first versified into a microphone on a stage outside my home region in the Moravian metropolis called Brno. You've never heard of. We were called slum poets, part actors, part poets, and part folk clowns. The recording of the competition was freely available on YouTube, where someone like you spotted me and published an article, a post about my talent, and how it's apparently necessary for people like me to break out of their times.
This was before, and I wonder what I had to offer as a friend when I was 18, except that it was clear I thought
he was a genius. I wrote him a private email. I promise, sir, I'll try not to disappoint you. And I immediately inundated him with poems considered my most successful. I had no idea that hundreds or even thousands of emails would follow, changing my life.
Did he smoke cigarettes?
Was it love?
Was he my role model?
It was passion.
Is he why my roll-ups are so thin and neat and tidy?
It was pleasure that happened for a moment.
He published my poem about watching a firework and made me feel like someone worth listening to. This was before I thought fireworks were boring.
After a few years, we started addressing each other with the term love.
This is before I was bored. We stayed up until 2 a.m. once, and then I walked back to my parents' house. This was when I'd left home and gone to uni.
We saw each other face to face only 3 times. Twice we drank until dawn.
Now I thought I could do things like this.
That's the first time I'm hearing that blackbird sing. I marveled after climbing out of the wine cellar, which he interpreted as a prelude to my coming out.
Was it love?
The third time around, I came to see him with a suitcase in my hand, determined to live with him. And
it was pleasure that guideth for a moment.
I was his. I wanted to be his so much. Yet I kept falling out of bed.
Was it love? At some point, I saw him for the last time, and then I never saw him again.
Part 3. Sheer terror.
19, fully and beautifully limb-formed, I crept from the wound in your back where you had carried me. We will never speak again, I think. I had stung there like a thorn for years, sapping from your blood and what you ate.
There is always something ridiculous about the emotions of people whom one has ceased to love.
wallowed in the ooze and growing, stretching out, my head lengthening, confused soft features creeping into shape like how a cloud is shaped by wind slowly over hours.
The basis of optimism is sheer terror.
I needed badly to crater out of you no matter what destruction. I knew only the pool of your voice I lived in. I crept out. You couldn't see me over your shoulder.
Once, occasionally, rarely, when encountering someone like him among strangers in a crowd, does my heart start beating like bat's wings, and I hurry clumsily to slip into the nearest crevice.
I had a fabulous time on a boat called the Oscar Wilde. Immaculate, plentiful and delicious. A clean, spacious, comfortable, well-appointed vessel. Excellent, with wonderful, freshly prepared melon, pineapple, etc., croissants, and smoked salmon. These were my favourites, but there were lots of other things too. Excellent, smiling, friendly, and efficient. Excellent, efficient, amusing, and friendly. The only criticism would be the evening entertainment, which is weak. Ruined my mother-in-law's 90th birthday treat, and will most likely do the same to you.